By now, we all see it. The Southwest Florida real estate market is in a bit of a standstill. Starting October 2024, the listing tsunami began, and there's simply too many homes on the market and not enough buyers to go around. Why are we stuck in neutral? I've been doing what most people do, asking financial experts, listening to analysis, following respected opinions, but let's be honest, the answers are murky, vague, and often feel like a coin toss. No one seems to be willing or able to say when, how, or even if the market's going to turn around. So I decided to take a different approach, something a little bit more out of the box. I called my friend and trusted tarot card reader, Sean Kilroy, to help me tap into a different kind of insight. Sean agreed to read the cards and give me a little perspective that goes beyond numbers and trends. Something a little bit more intuitive, a little bit more cosmic. Am I crazy? Maybe, but in times like these, why not explore every angle? Stay tuned for what the cards reveal. You might be surprised.
Tarot with Sean here in Cape Coral. I specialize in reading tarot cards, and I've known Barbara Klare for a while. We've conferred on a lot of different subjects over time, and Barbara has asked me to stop in today and do a tarot card reading to take a look at the real estate market and see if we could see what may be unfolding as we kind of go forward. So that's why I'm here right now. I'm here with a bunch of amazing tarot cards, and we're going to take a look and see what they have to share with us today.
So that's great, Sean.
That's
Thanks
it.
for coming. Let's hope you give us some insight.
Well, in case they're not familiar with what tarot cards are all
Sure.
about, maybe okay. So tarot cards are basically a way of kind of like connecting with kind of like that all-knowing layer of reality that we can access with deja vu and things like that and our intuition, but we can't always kind of tap into it just because of like the noise that kind of surrounds us in our everyday life. The whole point of tarot cards is that you're basically looking at a snapshot in time. So given the factors of the way things are right now, going forward, you're most likely to kind of see these types of scenarios emerge. Okay.
I said, okay, since the fall of 2004, home buying in Cape Coral has gone out of style or something. It's like, oh no, not Cape Coral, not Florida. What caused this downturn or the turnoff?
And it's a broader Florida thing too.
It's a broader
Like
Florida
a lot of
thing.
folks are kind of like, they're just kind of like reticent to just make that big plunge. And a lot of people always did that. They always were like thinking forward, like, okay, I want to get a second house. Where do I want to go? I want to go to Florida. Yeah, it made sense. Now people are a little more reserved, but I really think a lot of that's going to be obviously economically driven. But let's see what the cards have to say.
All right.
All right, cool. All right. So let's see. Okay, so what has caused the downturn in the market since late 2024? Because it was really going gangbusters up until then.
Yeah, it was like they turned off the faucet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good.
Ooh,
Aha, okay.
can they see the cards? We should point it down.
No, absolutely. I'll actually lift the cards up and show them to the
Okay.
camera.
And
I think
look
that's
at
the
it.
best way to go
It's
too.
not too bad.
You know what it is, and it's kind of funny because like you look at these cards kind of playing out, the things that are kind of coming up. You got like this 9 of Cups right here.
Which is always good.
It's not a bad, but again, it's about somebody that does have the money to do this.
But they're holding it.
But they're holding on to it. That's
It's
that
under the
4.
mattress.
So it's kind of combined with this 4 of Pentacles.
That's the cheapskate.
This is the card. And again, like you could look at this for a lot of different things, but a lot of it is about prudence and protection. It's about going ahead and making sure that you are protecting yourself and protecting your interest, and that is the biggest thing. There is a prevailing sense that if everybody kind of like sort of blows their big wad of cash kind of thing, it may not wind up coming back.
We'll be living in the street.
Yeah, you're dealing with a little bit of defeatist thinking here, and that's the crazy thing because it's an opportunity. That's the crazy thing.
Absolutely.
When you really talk about that kind of stuff, because again, and stop me if I'm wrong, because I know that you have so much more knowledge about this than I do. But if you look at recessions, that really is the time to like lean in and buy stuff that you want. That's really the time to, and we are kind of in a mini recession. It's not a max kind of like 25% of the population is out of work.
It's not even really a recession.
But it's a recession of confidence.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not really a
Consumer
recession of capital.
confidence.
Yeah,
And
that fear index that you see with the stock market. When people are being greedy, be fearful, and when people are being fearful, be greedy. That's exactly the kind of situation that you're in right now.
Buyer's market, buy. Seller's market, don't buy.
So that's the thing. Given the fact that the market has slowed down, it really is the time to kind of buy. So you want to go in there and make some quick decisions if you possibly can, okay?
There are good deals out there.
This is the time to kind of shake those money bags and see what you can kind of do with them. And it's also the time, this is to come up with a strategy. So the cards that we have here, if you're following along from a tarot perspective, is the Two of Swords, which is about you making decisive decisions. This is the time to make decisions and kind of run with it. You see right there?
Yeah.
I'll show them to you.
Exactly.
You don't have to look into the camera. We also have this. We also have the Six of Pentacles. That's about go ahead and spreading your wealth around a little bit. This is the time to kind of do that thing. And we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is really a card about strategy. It's about you figuring out how you can kind of get over when other people are not.
It's the card of the thief.
It's also the card of the thief, but you actually have the opportunity to steal property very shortly.
And
that's what my friend is telling me. So even though there's been a downturn in the market, it's the kind of thing that I would say, if you were my client, when technically you are because you're on the other end of that website, really be critical and pounce sooner than later, because if you don't, the title catch,
you'll lose it.
Yeah, this is one of those opportunities. So I would say this is usually like a 6-month spread. Yeah. So within the next 6 months or so, you want to be tightening it up. Okay. Months 1 and 2 is kind of getting your feet wet, trying to figure out geography where you want to be. Months 3 and 4 might be actually going and looking at specific properties. Month 5 and 6 are times for offers and closers. Okay. Exactly. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I think
and just so you know, opportunities come in windows. They're not barn doors, okay? Mm-hmm. They open and close very quickly, so you have to be ready. They dropped 7% year over year, and there's still a lot of homes on the market that are asking way too much money. What can we expect of those existing homes as far as pricing going down?
Well, the money's coming in. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the way that this is looking right now, it does look like, yes, home prices are actually going to come down. And what's going to happen when home prices wind up coming down, because you got 3 out of 4,
not good,
is that it's going to become very competitive in the marketplace. So all of a sudden, you're going to have a situation where nothing is moving, and the market adjusts, and then all of a sudden it becomes like a feeding frenzy for people to start snapping stuff up.
Whoa, nice.
So happy days are here again. Okay, so basically you got this thing. This is the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is about contention, competition. Okay, this is when you're going to get into you're going to get the multiple buyers for each property type of thing coming back again. Okay, and then this is basically a success marker. A marker of things having traction and kind of going in the right direction. Okay, so you got 3 aces on the table, and
they'll all be happy in the sun in Florida.
Happy in the sun, fun in the sun in Florida. But yeah, it's working on the money front. It's working on the front of actually kind of scratching the itch inside of people of the things that they actually do want to do in terms of their own aspirations and dreams. And then of course there's also an emotional plea too as well. Right. So I would say for people that are marketing real estate, knowing that this is, potentially coming, I would say start to look at what the emotional levers are when it comes to home selling.
Well, look outside my windows. I mean,
it's a big piece of it too.
Beautiful day,
but there's a lifestyle thing. You could be alone.
Lifestyle thing.
Yeah, exactly. I would look at those levers and then start to work those in along with the more practical talking points that there gets to be a point where people just get sick and tired of sitting on their money. Mm-hmm. And then everything kind of flips and people start going out and actively spending again. And then that's where you kind of get that lift. And that's probably what we're seeing here too, is just a fatigue of just saving and why aren't we living a little bit?
Right. I also think they're going to see some real deals out there and they're like, hey, why not? If I don't do it now, somebody else is going to buy this house.
That's what I say, be greedy if you absolutely can too. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. If you have the means to be greedy, really do that. But we were looking at that timeline, that 6-month timeline is the next month or 2, figure out the geographies that you like. The 2 months after that are really
so get into properties and see what it's September, about. October, and definitely next fall.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I mean, that's what it's looking like right now in terms of the cards. And again, markets are cyclical. The current standstill won't last forever, but right now Cape Coral is in a period of adjustment, balancing supply with more realistic demand and pricing. Okay, so things are coming into focus of a greater reflection of reality.